So hello guys, welcome. In today's video we'll see how to fill ENC and Actus maintenance record, that is NP 133C nautical publication. Also we have nautical publication 133A, that is for paper chart maintenance, but as we don't have paper charts, so we'll only see how to fill this NP 133C. So in this video we'll go in as much detail as much possible. We'll cover all the topics one by one. So let's move on to our index. So now this is our index, which is having 11 titles. On the left hand side you can see this is a flow chart. It is just like a reference, like whenever you receive weekly updates, what will go in section 2, what will go in section 3, what will go in section 4. So let's move on to our first title. So the first one is digital chart service certificate. So in this section we have to place the certificate of those suppliers who are giving you permits, who are giving you base DVD, who are giving you weekly updates, all those things with respect to ENCs. So like this you might have a different chart provider, Bogard Martin, E-Mariner, CNC Marine. So there are different chart providers. You can have those certificates. Now make sure this is a valid certificate. So as this is 31 Jan 2019, this is an expired certificate. Now that's my updated certificate, 31 Jan 2023. So I'll update this certificate. So I've placed this. Make sure that you have a valid certificate placed over here. So next in our title 2, they want us to keep a copy of schedule A. So let's see what is there inside schedule A. So this over here is a copy of schedule A. Basically, when do we receive this copy? So whenever we order for Actus ENCs, during that time your chart supplier will issue this. So with permits you will also receive one PDF. In that PDF it is written schedule A. So basically whatever cells you have requested, it will tell that those cells lies in which base. Base 8, base 3. For example, these Chile charts, some are in base 8. This Gibraltar chart, these are in base 3. So it is just for that. There is nothing much in this information. So next time also, for example, if I request 10 charts, 2 charts, 3 charts, how many charts I order, it does not matter. But whenever I order those charts, I will receive the permits and I will receive a PDF named schedule A, and it will tell me which base those ENC lies in. So I will install only those base DVDs or only those base CDs. That's it. So our next topic is ENC status. So this is very important topic. Here they have also given you example that how to fill this week number base DVD, how you applied the updates, where is your location of permits and comments, and your sign and master signature. So basically, when do we fill this record? If we receive any weekly updates, if we install any permits, if we install any base DVD, if we do any such thing into our Actus, we have to write or mention over here. So now I will show you one example by mentioning my weekly updates. So first I'll write down my week number 4421, then base DVD. How did I receive my updates? Through email. So I'm writing email. If you have received through internet, you will write internet. Then where is your location of permits? So it is saved in my chart browser outbox folder. So I've written that. Next, date applied. When did you apply those updates? So I am writing the same date on which I received. I'm writing the same date I applied those updates. And the next thing is comment. This is the most important thing in this book NP133C. So make sure whenever you write a comment, you must write this comment that weekly updates applied on both Actus with an interval of at least 1 hour. Passage plan reviewed later on. You must write this comment. The idea behind this comment is that in past there have been many remarks that people were applying updates, base DVD or permits together in both the Actus at same time. So the concept was that if something was wrong in your updates or base DVD or permits, your both Actus can go wrong at the same time. So that's not the good thing. So you must apply your weekly updates or permits or base DVD, whatever you are applying, in one Actus at one time, and then give at least 30 minutes or 1 hour of interval. After that you must apply those updates or permits in another Actus, and after applying your updates and permits you must review your passage plan. After that you sign over here and then you take the master sign. So that's it about the entry in this section. So next our section is temporary and preliminary notice to mariners. So that means basically AIO corrections for Actus. So on the same date when we receive weekly corrections, we also receive AIO corrections, and that's why we have to put an entry into this section. So also in this section we normally keep a copy of this list, status of TNP information in ENC. Basically this list is available on Google. If you'll write down here, you will find it out on Admiralty website. If I'll open and show it to you, this is the list. This is the updated list as of now. There is no specified time for this. Basically it tells that which countries are publishing TNP correction separately in AIO and which countries are giving TNP correction directly in ENCs. So you must have this list. So now we'll see how to fill this section. So whenever you receive AIO updates with your weekly updates, we'll write down the week number, week 40 by 21. So always it is written in sequential order. As you can see, week 38, 39, 40, same like that. Write down the date on which you receive. Now which is the base DVD you are having with yourself. And then how did you receive your update, via email or have you downloaded them? So normally I receive all of them by mail. Paper TNPs. So it is just a normal thing that paper TNPs are always 1 week ahead of AIO. It's always paper TNPs are 1 week ahead. So write down the action which you did after you received the AIO corrections. So AIO corrections applied, no manual updates were required, and comment. So after applying the AIO updates in both Actus, we must mention that in comment that passage plan was reviewed or checked, and whether there were any corrections required in your passage plan or not. Here we didn't require any correction, so that's why I've written no manual correction required, passage plan was reviewed after AIO correction. So that's it with filling of this section. So our next section is section number 5, and here it says that important service notice which is given in readme file. So basically in this section we have to keep a printout of readme.txt file which is mentioned over here. We have to keep a printout and we have to write the comments that if there are any updates or something information which we found out, we must write the comments in this section. So let me show you practically how does this readme.txt file looks like and what information is there in this file. This is how our readme.txt file looks like. If I'll open this, so you can see over here it's written week 6 of 2022, then it will be week 7 of 2022, week 8. So every week you will receive this file and the week will be mentioned over here. So basically when we do our weekly updates, if there are any updates which a user must know, if there are any important informations, like if there are any withdrawn cells, if there are any cancelled cells, if there is any issue with any symbols, as you can see over here, isolated danger symbol issue, if there is any display anomaly with some specific Actus or from specific country, that will be mentioned over here. So this file is very important. That's why you must print out this file and keep this file in your NP133C, and also you must review it completely. So now let us go to the comment part of this section. So here we'll write down the date on which we received the readme.txt file. Here reviewed by. So master and all navigation officer must read this file. Relevant changes noted by. If there are any changes in that text file, you must mention it here. If there are not, you can just write no changes required. And comments. So you can just write down a simple comment. It's your personal choice. You can write any comment, but I would normally write this readme.txt file read completely. But it's up to you. You can write your comment. You can add anything which you feel is more relevant over here. Now over here you can see this is the printed version. So every week I'll keep the updated version of this one and remove the old readme.txt file. So here this is title number 6. Here we have to refer or read the section 8 of weekly notice to mariners. So every week what I'll do is I'll refer to my latest weekly notice to mariner. In that they want us to read the 8th section. So I'll click over here. I'll open the 8th section. Now this I'll take a printout for this section as well, and also will read and go through this, whether there are any changes in any nautical publications or if there are any updates to digital publications. If there are any updates, I'll note it down and it will be mentioned over here. That is why we have to refer to this section. So all digital updates will be mentioned over here. So that is why we must take a printout and also read this section completely. Now next we'll move on to the entry part of this section. So same what we do in weekly correction, we'll write down the week number, week 41/21, who reviewed it, master and second officer. Then in the next column it says relevant changes noted. So if there are any changes, updates or something, we must mention over here. Now there were no changes, so I've written no changes required. So that's it with entry of this section. Here you can see I've printed out the section 8 of Admiralty notice to mariner. That's how every week we'll keep a new printout from the section 8 of NTM. Now next section is section 7. Here they've written cancelled and withdrawal ENCs. So if there are any ENC which are cancelled or withdrawn, we must mention it over here. You can see over here, I have never written it, but this information you can find from readme.txt file. From there you can find out which ENC is cancelled or withdrawn. So moving on to our next section, section number 8. Here this is guide to Actus audits and inspection. So in this there are around 19 questions which any auditor can ask. So before any inspections, if you are expecting any inspections, make sure you go through each and every point, and after that they have also given the detailed explanation. Like for every question they have asked, they have given the detailed description, like what information they want from you. So you must go through them before any audit or inspection. Now next is our section number 9, that is divided into 4 parts. Actus installation. First you have to keep your Actus certificate, basically installation or confirmation certificate. We'll keep that. Second is maintenance of Actus software. So this is normally done by some external authority. So if there is any maintenance or upgradation of software, that must be recorded over here. So just to show you, I can show you over here that master Actus replayed with new Actus, and any software upgradation or anything which is done by sure person. So that is normally recorded over here. Then next, moving on to next part. So basically these are all installation reports and all everything. So now next is 9C, maintenance of Actus IHO standards. So after installing presentation library 4.0, we are not required to do any more checks, daily, monthly, anything. So now next is 9D, maintenance of Actus annual performance checks. So this is annual performance checks by ship staff. So there is a checklist which is given over here, and we have to perform these checks annually. So these are checks which are done by normally a second officer. So this checklist is very basic checklist. Make sure that you are doing this check on both Actus, main Actus and backup Actus. So in both Actus we have to perform these checks. So all this information you can find out, ship serial number, model, ID, all this information you can find out from your Actus. So just for example, if I have to show you, if I'll go to my Actus, I'll go to settings, and here once I'll click this, here I can find out everything. System ID, then IMO 63 ID, S52 ID, everything I can find out here. So that's how I'll continue to fill this checklist. So our next section is section number 10, that is Actus familiarization training. So as per this, all our deck officers, captain, master, chief officer, second officer, third officer, everyone must go through this Actus training, and everyone must fill this checklist. So this is a very simple checklist, how to switch on, switch off Actus, how to start, how to do markings and all everything. So this is just one example you can see over here. I've already filled one of them. So that's how you have to continue and fill this checklist. Now lastly we have section 11, that is maritime cyber risk management. Now there have been many doubts when to fill this checklist. So the least you have to do is fill this checklist at least every 1 month. Some people fill this checklist at least weekly, but I prefer to fill this checklist monthly. So that's it with filling of Enc 133C. I hope you have found this video informative. Thank you for watching.